Imagine, if you will, a fascinating social experiment conducted in the 1950s by a psychologist named Solomon Asch. He invites a group of participants to take part in a vision test. Unbeknownst to one real participant, everyone else in the room is an actor. They are shown a line on a card, followed by 3 lines on another card, and asked to state aloud which line matches the first in length. Initially, it's simple, and the correct answer is obvious. But as the actors start deliberately choosing the wrong line, the real participant faces a dilemma. Surprisingly, in many cases, they conform to the group's wrong choice, despite clearly seeing the truth. This simple yet powerful experiment brings us to the heart of conformity, a core concept in social psychology. Conformity refers to the act of changing one's behavior to match the responses or norms of a group, often in response to real or imagined group pressure. Why conformity matters in social psychology. Social influence. Conformity is a clear indication of how powerful the influence of a group can be over an individual. It highlights our inherent need to belong and fit into social groups. Cultural learning. Conformity is also a tool for cultural and social learning. By conforming to societal norms and values, individuals learn acceptable behaviors and social practices. Social harmony. At times, conformity can be beneficial in promoting social harmony and cooperation. It allows for the smooth functioning of society with shared standards and expectations. Mechanisms and theories of conformity. Normative influence. This is the influence to conform to the positive expectations of others. It's driven by our desire to be liked or accepted by the group. Asch's line experiment is a classic example of normative influence at play. Informational influence. This occurs when we conform because we believe that others' interpretation of an ambiguous situation is more correct than ours and will help us choose an appropriate course of action. It's about the desire to be right. Internalization. This happens when we accept the beliefs or behaviors of the group and make them our own. This deeper form of conformity can lead to lasting changes in beliefs and values. Identification. When we conform to the expectations of a social role or a group we value and want to be a part of, even if we don't entirely agree with everything the group stands for. Key theories. Social identity theory. This theory posits that individuals conform to group norms to enhance their self-image, particularly when they identify with the group. Self-categorization theory. An extension of social identity theory, it suggests that people conform to the norms of the groups they identify with to enhance their sense of belonging within the group. Dual process dependency model. The dual process dependency model in social psychology is a fascinating concept that explains conformity based on the interplay of 2 key processes, informational influence and normative influence. This model delves into why and how individuals conform to group norms and behaviors. Let's discuss this in detail, elucidating the complexities and intricacies of this model. Understanding informational influence. Informational influence occurs when people conform because they view others as a source of information. This usually happens in situations that are ambiguous or where the person lacks knowledge. The underlying motivation is the desire to be correct in one's decisions and actions. This kind of influence is more likely when the task at hand is more complex or difficult, as people are more uncertain, and thus more likely to rely on others. A classic example of informational influence is Muzaffar Sherif's autokinetic effect experiment. In this study, individuals in a dark room were asked to estimate the movement of a point of light, a task with high ambiguity. When individuals were placed in groups, their estimates converged, demonstrating reliance on others for social cues in an ambiguous situation. Understanding normative influence. Normative influence, on the other hand, stems from the human desire to be liked, accepted, and approved by others. Here, conformity is driven not by the desire to be correct, but by the desire to be a part of a group or to avoid social rejection. This type of influence is more prevalent in situations where social relationships and group acceptance are important. Solomon Asch's line judgment experiment exemplifies normative influence. In this experiment, individuals conformed to the incorrect majority opinion on a clear task, comparing line lengths, not because they believed in the majority's judgment, but because they wanted to avoid social disapproval or to be part of the group. Dual process dependency model. The dual process dependency model integrates these 2 types of influence. According to this model, the type of conformity, informational or normative, depends on the individual's dependency on the group for information, informational dependence, and for social support or identity, normative dependence. Informational dependence. This occurs in situations where the reality is ambiguous and individuals look to the group as a reliable source of information. In such scenarios, conformity is likely to be internalized, leading to a genuine change in opinions or behavior. Normative dependence. In contrast, when an individual is more concerned about being a part of the group or maintaining a positive relationship with other group members, normative influence becomes more pronounced. Here, conformity might be more superficial, as the individual's outward behavior aligns with the group, but their private beliefs may remain unchanged. This model helps to explain why different people conform to different extents and in different situations. For instance, in a workplace setting, a new employee might exhibit informational conformity by adopting the technical processes of their colleagues, informational influence, while also showing normative conformity in adopting the casual dress code to fit in with the team, normative influence. In summary, the dual process dependency model provides a nuanced understanding of conformity, acknowledging the complex motivations behind why individuals align their behavior with group norms. It underscores that conformity is not merely a matter of following the crowd, but is often a sophisticated response to the dual needs of being accurate and being accepted. So we can say that the conformity is a complex and multifaceted aspect of social psychology, influenced by our need for acceptance, our perception of what is right, and our identification with groups. As Mark Twain eloquently put it, whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. This reflection highlights the importance of understanding conformity not just as a psychological phenomenon, but as a critical aspect of our social existence.
If you're finding this lesson valuable, you can take your expertise to the next level. Join over 27,000 students at the Institute of Professional Psychology and earn your professional certification in this field. Scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description to access the full curriculum, workbooks, and your accredited credential. Let's get back to the lesson.